Hi there, I'm Ghost. I'm going to be reacting to a Call Me Chris video today. Let me turn it on real quick.
You are taking a live. We have some
1 second ad. It's not a 1 second long ad. There's ads right now. I don't like them.
Makes brightening
I hate ads.
Easy.
Comment if you hate ads.
Every bite shine. A neat little house. Picture
And
perfect
now we
smiles. The kind of
now
couple
we
you'd
react.
expect to see framed in wedding photos and in magazines. Not in police files. But they looked like a dream. Like the dream. Young, attractive, and confident. But behind closed doors.
1 second. We're doing a true crime reaction video to the only Call Me Chris. I love her with all my heart. But let's get back to reacting.
Beneath the rehearsed charm and the fairy tale life, something was off. And these monsters didn't just hide in the shadows, they were center stage in the spotlight. This is the story of the Barbie and Ken killers. Crime, conspiracy, cults, serial killers, and murder, all things that I love to consume, and I know you do too, you sick, twisted, beautiful, intellectually minded freak. Put a little sauce on it for you today. But today we are in all seriousness talking about a very disturbing case, one that took place in Canada. So without further ado, let's unbuckle our seatbelts, go mock.
If you don't know, Call Me Chris lived in Canada. Pretty sure most of her life. She now lives in Texas. But let's get back to reacting.
On the highway, slam on the brakes, and bust through this windshield into this case together. I'd like to take a moment to talk about what I've been doing lately, and I have been slowly upgrading my spaces. And Article has made it ridiculously easy. I picked up a couple of mid-century modern pieces, and the quality hit me immediately.
I would skip this sponsor bit of her video, but I want my video to be long enough to not be considered a short anymore. Because this video that I'm watching is 1 hour long. Hopefully it makes my video longer. But I need my video to be long enough so I can actually have my first long form video. And y'all usually don't get to hear my voice, so I just wanted to point that out. But let's get back to reacting.
The weight, the craftsmanship, the fact that it basically came assembled, which I like a lot. It actually feels like real furniture, not something that's going to fall apart in 6 months. And what I love is that everything Article offers is curated. No filler, no throwaway pieces. It all just works together. So you can mix and match without your place looking like a random furniture showroom. Plus, their customer care team is available 7 days a week, and they even offer free interior design help, which comes in clutch if you're very indecisive, like myself. And Article is offering our listeners $50 off your purchase of $100 or more. So just visit article.com/cccm, and the discount is applied automatically at checkout. That's article.com/cccm. Thank you to Article for sponsoring this video, letting me get amazing furniture, and for supporting the channel. And let's get back to it. Tammy Lynn Homolka was born in Port Credit, Mississauga, Ontario on New Year's Day, 1975. It was a birthday forever tied to celebration and the promise of new beginnings. And she would be the youngest of 3. Carla came first, and then Lori would follow. And then Tammy arrived 5 years after Carla, quickly defining her place as the baby in the family. And as a child, she was always moving. She ran and played and competed, and sports came very naturally to her, and people noticed her abilities really early on. So athletics were a part of her identity at that point. In her childhood,
I can already tell, since this is a true crime video, there's going to be a lot of messed up stuff.
As a whole, appeared very stable and unremarkable in the best way. And her and her family would go on vacations, and those vacations were spent out on Ostler Lake, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, where they would pass the days with swimming and campfires and shared meals. Just a simple kind of life, but beautiful. And Tammy looked up to her older sisters, especially Carla. and she wanted to be near her constantly, following her around, admiring everything that she did. But Carla, on the other hand, tried keeping her distance, more just tolerating her rather than embracing her, which is a pretty common sisterly dynamic, especially at around that age. She just wanted her independence. She didn't want to be a babysitter all the time. So by 1990, Tammy was already 15 years old, a grade 10 student at Sir Winston Churchill Secondary School in St. Catharines. And her life followed a very steady schedule of school during the week and sports whenever she could possibly play them. And soccer was her true biggest passion, but she also loved track and field and cross country. And she would obviously excel at all of them. But the Homolka household was welcoming, and Carol, Tammy's dad, worked as a traveling salesman.
Carol sounds like a female name, but go on.
And he was known for his easygoing manner and general friendliness, and he also had a really thick accent and a very contagious laugh. And Dorothy, Tammy's mom, worked as a hospital secretary and managed the home. And Carla, Tammy's sister, described her as a super mom, capable of anything and everything. So the family would move around a few times before settling on Dundonald Street in St. Catharines. And they built a swimming pool in the backyard, which became a gathering place in their home. And people would constantly come over, making summers loud and really busy. But Christmas time was the true heart of the Homolka family calendar, because year after year, the house would fill with relatives, neighbors, friends, and anyone that could attend. So the door was always open with Carol and Dorothy ready to hand you a drink at any moment. And somewhere in the midst of all the merriment, a photo of the three sisters would be taken, shoulder to shoulder, kneeling and smiling in front of the tree. And these sorts of photos filled their photo albums, and each daughter seemed to have her own role in the household. And Carla would be known as the smart one, and Laura would be the social one, and Tammy was the athlete, of course. And she would fully embody that role. And on top of that, Tammy was also outgoing and just full of enthusiasm and willing to fully throw herself into whatever she did. And also, she was deeply, deeply caring, doing anything to help the ones she loves. So this holiday season was shaping up to be just like the rest. The family was gathered on the evening of December 3rd, decorations were up, and the home videos captured laughter and joyful moments. But at some point during the evening, Tammy ventured down to the basement rec room, and Carla was there, and so was Paul. Now, Paul was her fiancé that had become a regular part of the family, and at this point in the night, Tammy's parents had gone to bed upstairs, and Lori was elsewhere in the house. So Tammy's loved ones were all near the people she really trusted the most, and all seemed to be merry and bright. But before we get into what happened next, we need to understand who Carla really was. So the 5 years separation in age between Carla and Tammy shaped the relationship from the very beginning. And by the time Tammy was old enough to follow her older sister around, Carla had already decided she existed on a whole different level. She was older, she was above it all. And even though they lived in the same house and answered to the same parents, in Carla's mind, they didn't live in the same world. Yet, when Carla suffered...
1 second, I will be right back. I just got called for. This is going to be my first ever long-form video. Long-form video on YouTube, my first ever one. I'm making a reaction. Now I need to get back to my video. You'll have fun choosing that. Back to our reaction.
From asthma attacks, it was usually Tammy who stayed by her side, helping her through them. And Tammy would do anything for anyone, but especially for Carla.
I'm actually going to finish off this reaction here. I will react to the rest of this video tomorrow. I'm going to do this in segments. Bye now!